Hi everyone! Today we will talk about a different topic than the Xiaomi Mi Sphere camera. So I decided to buy my first fisheye for APS-C format. In this case is a Fuji mount, and I choose the MEIKE or MEIKE 6.5mm F2.0. This is a very cheap and good lens. You can buy it for around 130 euros on the web, and it gives a full circle on the APS-C format, giving around 190 degrees view angle on horizontal and vertical. By the way, this lens has a little issue on the focus ring. What I mean? That if you try to focus looking at the 1 meter indicator or 3 feet indicator on the focus ring, and you put like this, all the things at 1 meter will be out of focus, especially if you use the full aperture at f2.0. Another issue is even if you close down to f8, the infinity focusing at 1 meter will be out of focus. And also focusing at the infinity mark at full aperture, the object at infinity will be out of focus. Why this happen? This happen because the focus ring is not well aligned for the APS-C format. And also I read that this issue can appear on the Micro Four Thirds cameras too. So there is a easy fix to have the 1 meter infinity, or to have the focus ring matching the real distance, the real world distance. The first thing you need to do is to put your camera on a tripod, put everything in manual, so 200 ISO on the Fuji or the lowest one for your camera, and put the manual exposure, giving the right exposure time, since we will do the test at full aperture f2.0. And white balance doesn't matter, you can set it in automatic. You need to have our wall and put your camera facing the wall and attach a box or a newspaper on the wall, so it will parallel with your camera lens. So you will have your camera like this, and the newspaper will be facing exactly the camera at 1 meter of distance. Why 1 meter? Because we have the correct symbol, the correct indicator on the lens. If you are on imperial unit, you can set 3 feet. That's the same. One thing you need to be aware is to take the distance with a meter, like this one, but not taking the distance from the front of the lens, not this way, never for the mount of the camera, that's totally wrong, but you need to put the 1 meter starting from the focus plane symbol, and the focus plane symbol is this little one here. You will notice on your camera, sometimes it's here, sometimes it's on the side of the prism, sometimes it's on the right side of your camera. So at the end, to have the correct distance, focus ring distance, you need to put your meter starting from there. This is the exact position to calculate 1 meter distance. Once you have done this, you can take your shooting, moving slightly the focus ring, moving slightly your focus ring, and using the light view with a magnifier to check the correct focus on your screen. I recommend you to shoot in RAW and without any sharpening or exposure correction or chromatic aberration correction on your raw software. At the first time you had to try a few times to find the correct spot. On my lens 1 meter was exactly around this distance here. So you can understand this is way off than the sign on the focus ring. Once you have find the sweet spot for your lens for 1 meter, you need to put paper tape on your lens, like this. Just don't cover the rubber ring here. Take off the lens from your camera. Be gentle, don't move the focus ring. And put the cap on your lens and also on your camera to prevent dust going inside the camera. Then you need to take off the rubber ring here. So you can do it with a small flat screwdriver. Just need to be very gentle. So push it here slightly so you don't scratch the surface. Once you pull it up, push it out with the other thumb and take it right there. And now you must push it outside. You don't need to completely pull out of your lens. Just take your time. Okay. Just going. Okay. You need just to uncover 4 little screws. This one, and the other one here. Just unscrew it. Just a simple, a quick turn. Don't unscrew it completely or we'll lose the little screw. Just do 1 or 2 turns. Once you have done, you can remove the paper tape and move around your ring. It will free. You cannot feel, if you did it correctly, you cannot feel any friction, any movement of the lens, but just the ring will completely loose. Put it back to 1 meter and screw back, tighten the screw back. Okay? Just doing an X pattern, so if you do this one first, then you need to go to the other one on the opposite side. Okay? Then go back to this and the one on the opposite side. Don't over tighten, just tighten gently. Once you tighten all the screw, give an half turn again, so you will be sure your lens is the focus ring is well tightened, okay, to the lens movement. Then you can just put back the rubber ring gently, like this. Okay, be sure it will completely inside. Okay, so now you can put it back to your camera and test it again if you set correctly 1 meter to a real 1 meter distance. If you did correctly, the infinity will be exactly focused on the mark down there. Sorry, the autofocus. The infinity will be correctly in focus here, and also 1 meter will be correctly in focus at the 1 meter mark, and so on. So you now understand it will be, let's say, easy to focus something at full aperture, even without looking at the live view on your camera. So if you need to focus something around half meter, you can set it here and just shoot. also at around 1 meter, just set it and shoot. Another good thing to have the focus ring set correctly to the real distance is you can set it in a so-called sweet spot with the mark at 1 meter and F8 for your outdoor or tripod night shots. Why is a sweet spot? Because everything from infinity to around half meter will be correctly in focus. So you can understand how easy now will be to quick set your lens and have it the correct focus on your subject. I can give you also another tip if you are using some kind of lens ring to hold your lens at the nodal point on a tripod. Give a look at the 3 little screws here on the mark ring here, and the other one is down there, and give it a tight, gentle tight. On my sample, my unit, I have the back screw a little loose, so when I put it on a lens ring, after a while the lens rotated on the mark ring down there. So keep in mind to check these 3 little screws too and tighten gently so it will not become loose during the use. So I hope you enjoy this video and you find these little tips useful, and please subscribe to my channel. Thank you very much.